That's what I wanted. Is the 5 here? Yaqeen. Okay. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah. Anything?
Oh, you were asking where did we cover from until last time? I think you
covered after starting, inshallah. The recording has started. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم رب اشرح لي صدري ويسر لي أمري واحلل عقدة من لساني يفقهوا قولي واجعل لي وزيرا من أهلي هارون أخي اشدد به أزري ويشرك في أمري كي نسبحك كثيرا ونذكرك كثيرا إنك كنت بنا بصيرا وصل اللهم على محمد وعلى آله وأصحابه وأتباعه وسلم الحمد لله رب العالمين آمين. Amen. So last week we covered what? I think somebody wanted to volunteer to remind us what we have covered last part of our discussion last week.
As far as I remember, maybe until the second verse.
Until?
The second verse.
Whatever you would like to remind us here. So try to remember. It is on the screen now. Yeah.
So everything is basically leaving us. So what's going inside the grave is really the material side, but where does the meaning or the non-material aspect of things go? I mean, everything is departing. But yeah, so if you're just thinking that your life is from birth until death, then definitely this is like a dark worldview where you just say, hey, that's it, right? It seems more darkness the more you're approaching your lifespan here. And first verse is reminding us in terms of you're obsessed by greed for more and more. Or evil commanding soul just wants more of this world, just try to get as much as you can just within the vicinity of what this universe offers, but it's a dead end if you think about it. If you think that your life is just bound between life to death.
So let's come to the last verse that we covered last week. What do we understand from knowing by certainty? It means knowing certainly that definitely we will realize that it will be really wrong strive or dead end strive in order to reach the aim of our satisfaction, which everybody really would like to have it or gain the satisfaction. But if we strive within the limits of increasing, trying to get more and more of this world as it is presented to us, aiming at obtaining it, not rather using it as a means, as a vehicle to read it. For example, if a person doesn't know how to read and write, then wants to get the book because it is nicely decorated, what does he learn from the book? Doesn't know how to read. So this universe is a book. We are trying to grasp it. But if we don't know how to read it, or even if we know, but if we know how to read, don't read this book of the universe, even like all of it, what shall I do with it? What shall I do with it? With the corpse of the body of the book. The book is beneficial if only we use it in order to learn the meaning inscribed in it or transferred to us through the book's corpse or body. The universe is like really body of the book. Even our body, now I'm using the same word, but referring to different things. The same thing, not the body of the universe now, as far as I'm a human being, my humanity, human side is concerned, my body is my book, the paper of the book.
Okay.
Yes, paper side of the book, material side of the book, which is perishable. But meaning, it made us, by human side, uncovers it or discovers it, finds out, and becomes aware of what it refers to, what is really pointing to. That is the meaning. That's why we are put in this paper form. The meaning is represented in my humanity, or we always say that I think we have to get familiar with the word used in the Quran, ruh, human soul. Human soul is the meaning of my existence. So we have to try to get the meaning, to obtain the meaning, because meaning has no limit. Book has limit, right? Paper has limit. But meaning has no limit as far as human beings are concerned. Can you see yourself as a walking, talking book? Have you ever thought about it?
Yeah.
You did more. It's excellent. How do you feel about it? I am a walking book.
I think there's like a lot to discover once you look at not just yourself, but even other people from that lens.
But as far as you are concerned within yourself,
Yeah.
you realize what is going on, really, in your expectations. Your eye or eyes see only certain distance. Even you use the most sophisticated lens or telescope, certain limit, very limit, very small limit. They say millions of stars we can see. That's very limited as far as the hugeness of the universe is concerned. It's very limited and small amount. So your eyes, your ear hears limited again. So your hand stretches out in a limited way. So your leg carries only the muscle, the arms carry on the limited. Your smell gets only to your nose. You can smell only as much as within a limited distance. They're all limited, man. And you want eternal satisfaction. And the satisfaction I want, I don't know whether you ever thought of yourself. I don't want any end to my existence, to my expectation of satisfaction. No end. I don't acknowledge any end. I don't know what is the end of it. Even I cannot grasp the end. I cannot grasp the limit for my limitations of humanity, human side. I cannot grasp. Can you? Have you ever thought about it? This is the end I want. No, there's no end. Think about it. It's a beautiful experience, feeling, exciting. We are expected to discover what is in me rather than outside. It is good. It is a starting point, of course. But afterwards, we have to come back to ourselves and discover what is in us. That is what I understood as the last verse says. The last verse is, yes, last verse on the set. Verse 5 says, no, indeed, if you only knew with the knowledge of certainty, we somehow covered up this knowledge of certainty last week somehow, but it is a lot to discuss about the knowledge of certainty, which is also, it's a beautiful language of the Quran, yaqeen. We have to get somehow familiar with the Quranic vocabulary, although we shouldn't really use non-English vocabulary, but at the same time explain what it is, certainty. But in the Quran, certainty means yaqeen. So you can only reach yaqeen where? Within yourself. If you use, if I use, within yourself, because you can experience the infinity. You cannot put an end to your expectations, to your desires, to your happiness. I can't. It means if I can't, it means you can. You cannot either, right? Because if they're human beings, we have common qualifications. So you cannot. So yaqeen is certainty. Certainty about what? Certainty about the truth, reality. Not about my body. My body doesn't give me any certainty that if I go on a scale, I weigh certain weight. That's it. And I know, again, I myself know this body, I'm going to fly away from this cage of my soul. But this is just a tool now. I am using it to experience around and learn it in order to. Every knowledge that we are seeking is in order to get to know our human reality. Do you understand? All the experiences we have in the universe, to collect the information, to have experience outside the world. For example, simple example again. Don't say that. This man repeats the same example. Just as a simple example, you can apply to everything. When you eat, if you didn't have the feeling of need for it, if you didn't have the taste, if you didn't feel hungry, you wouldn't eat anyways. Even if you eat something, it wouldn't mean anything to you. But if you don't have the taste, if you don't have the need, but through the meaning in my book of my own being, I experience not the material body flesh of the, for example, for simple, not the material flesh of the food, but what is the meaning in it? What happens now? They start communicating. Yeah, taste is there. I can appreciate it. Communicating. So you realize that there is taste there. How do you realize it? In your soul. Your body doesn't realize anything because your body always realizes limited things. But only through the soul that we have, human beings, get meaning or get in touch with the interaction with the outside world and in me. So consciousness comes and turns it into meaningly, meaningful. That is the word. Turns it into a meaningful form. Consciousness, human consciousness. That's why we always say that the human consciousness is the pillar of our humanity. We have to use this consciousness. It is there, but we may not take notice of it. Or we may use it for the verse said at the beginning, for this trying to obtain the material benefits of this world. We may say that consciousness is for this. What the materialist people or the materialist philosophers say, We have to use our reasoning in order to get more of the word, okay? Not in order to get the meaning of my life, in order to get the meaning of my existence, in order to learn the purpose of my existence, because for them, the purpose is endless, because they reduce human being to what? Body. They reduce the book, just a similar or example, they reduce the book to paper, don't they? Do they read the meaning? Do they read the meaning of the book, of the universe? Do they read the meaning of humanity? Do they? Show me one philosopher, materialist philosopher. Have you ever read anything? They're trying to see the meaning in the matter itself. But they are trying to understand how the matter works without realizing that it is within a certain order, established order. Yeah, they know that, but they say it has been like this forever. That's it. Do you follow me? It's a very exciting realization for me. So we shouldn't really, how do you say, fall into this discussion that, you know, we are going into dualism, you know, matter and spirituality. No, that's my reality. You know, when you look at the book, and if a child, or it's an uneducated man, illiterate man, who takes the book and treats the book with its material existence, paper, cover, the color, yeah, how thick it is, how many pages are there. Now, illiterate person can do that. But if I start saying that, look, this is a book, this is not a collection of papers or paper sheets. It is a book. Don't be dualist. Paper and meaning. This is what I mean. So matter and the meaning, or how do you say matter and meaning of the matter. I don't know the appropriate word for it. Sorry?
Experience, meaningful experience.
A meaningful experience. No, it is not, or the body and the spirit, or body and the soul. These are not the dualist. Yes, I cannot deny the meaning in the book. I cannot deny the meaning in the universe. I cannot deny the meaning because I communicate. I don't communicate with the matter. I communicate with the meaning. What corresponds to my soul. But through my soul, I experience. But what the materialists say, your brain experience. My brain dies. My brain has an end, and it is existence. Do you follow? I see that people's eyes are not really bright. So I'm excited. Am I only the one who's excited about it? My brain is going to die. How a limited, perishable, subject to death, there is a definite end, matter, can think of eternity, infinity, because human soul cannot acknowledge finite or infinity. No, human soul cannot see the last point in its expectations. Can you give an end to your expectations? Do you understand what I mean?
I understand what you're saying.
Yeah.
However, I mean, this isn't my reasoning, but the counter argument that's often used is that we are kind of projecting this eternal desire while the reality points towards temporariness. But
where is reality?
Exactly, because they look for, or I shouldn't say they, but that approach looks for reality within matter.
What? It's not reality within matter. The matter is matter.
Yeah.
You know, there is no reality and there is no non-real side of matter. Matter is matter.
Right.
Right. But when you look at yourself, you are experiencing eternal desires, infinite desires. And your matter is not subject to infinite. You understand? So how can your brain desire eternity since itself is limited? It's subject to death after certain years of living in this, of being in this world as a brain. And afterwards it's got rotten in the grave. That's what the Quran is trying to say here, what we are reading here. Those people, you know, obsessed by greed, by in the matter, greed. It doesn't mean that human side is greedy. No. Human side's nature is to be eternal, not only greedy, because you cannot put an end for your desires, expectations. So with this verses that we study here cannot be talking about our spiritual expectations, the expectations of our soul. We cannot talk about it as far as these verses are concerned. Because, excuse me, I will say, well, although God says this as the text claims itself, although, excuse me, whoever you are, God, I'm not greedy. I am desiring eternal. Not greedy. It is with me. I cannot put an end. So that, you know, this is enough for me. But the amount of food you eat, yes, it must be limited. Because this is something to do with your body, and your body is limited. Right? But the meaning you extract from it, does it have an end? It points to the eternal mercy, eternal compassion, eternal bounty reflecting in it, in the food itself. Get it? So I communicate with the eternal side of it. I don't communicate with the material side of it. Although I eat materially, but communication, for example, how do you communicate with the book? And through the book, with the author. How do you communicate with the author of the book?
By reading.
Sorry?
By reading.
So reading and getting the meaning, not holding the paper. That's ridiculous. That's what materialism reduces human beings to paper, relationship with the paper. When you get the book, you hold the book like this. You cannot communicate with the book by really grasping or hugging it. Do you understand the analogy? It is so real. So how do you communicate with, let's say you are eating grapes. How do you communicate with the grapes? Materially, yes, the body of the grape. But you get the meaning through its existence. Your body recognizes it. Sorry, your soul recognizes it. Your body touches the material side of it. Like your hands holds the book, but your spirit communicates with the meaning through the meaning with the author. Right or wrong? We cannot deny that. That is not dualism. That is not really running away from the reality, as they say. This world has, as far as human beings' capacity is concerned, this world has no meaning at all as far as my body is concerned. I am transient in nature. It is transient in nature. I will disappear materially, bodily. It will disappear materially, bodily. What it is going on between me and the things of the world that I am communicating with? You love beauty. You love taste. Yeah, you get the message in the existence of everything in the world. So it becomes your life purpose. I am going to encounter with the meaning in the existence of the world through my soul in order to match myself to it. That's why human beings are created for what? To acknowledge the source of their existence, the Creator, and get to know Him, get to become aware of it. We have the capacity, but if we don't use it, we don't get it. We don't get it. That is yaqeen, knowledge of certainty. When you reach this knowledge of certainty, you understand the reality, but if you have the capacity now, we established, okay? Now, following verse seems to have nothing to do with it. Okay? Shall we go there? I will go here and I will go there too. All right, here it is. Yeah. Suddenly it becomes a threat. Yeah. It says, لَتَرَوُنَّ الْجَحِيمِ. Definitely. You shall most definitely see Jahim. Jahim is translated as it does, as hellfire or eternal torture, this kind of things. Now, what is it to do with yaqeen and eternal torture? Anyone? Yeah? Do you see the relationship between Hatice? What do you think? You look very much into the subject. Yeah. What do you say?
They both refer to eternity. As far as if you do not recognize the eternal need,
yeah,
then what is left there is eternal
vacuum. But be careful. Lack of the eternal vacuum, eternal emptiness. Yeah? Do you get? How is it described in the Quran? Fire. What does it mean? Why fire? I mean, allegory of fire, or fire is used as a what? As allegory or metaphor. Now, I will ask you, I read it I'm copy pasting most of the things I use here. I'm copy pasting from other sources that I read. That was a beautiful thing. In the world, there is only one thing that you cannot satisfy. That is enough, it will say. For example, you put energy in this wire, and the wire, after certain high energy, it burns. Now you can satisfy it. The container, you can satisfy it. Stomach, you can satisfy it. Right? But one thing in the world, not human soul. Can you satisfy human soul in this universe? Yeah. But ask yourself, be brave. Self-reflection is the most important thing. Think either. Sit at home and think about yourself. The whole universe is your property. Okay? We are all your slaves. Let's say that. Okay. What are you going to do with it? Can you get satisfaction?
Not enough.
Huh?
It's not enough.
Not enough. Because, okay, everything is mine. Where shall I put it? Yeah?
You would look for what you don't have.
Still there is something beyond.
Yeah.
There is something beyond. Still there is something beyond. Right? And you say, okay, well, the universe is mine. So what am I going to do with it? So what you say, eternal source of satisfaction, to own the whole universe, doesn't say that, okay, I'm done. Yeah? The whole universe doesn't satisfy human expectations. Or not apart from human beings, you cannot really satisfy in human being Would you like to say something?
I was just going to ask. Can
Of
you
course,
can you
what's
say
that?
again the question? What was the first question you asked?
Now, the first question is this. Is there anything in the universe that you cannot really feel, satisfy fully? That's it. It cannot get more than this. Apart from human soul. But I'm saying in the material side of human being, right? Excuse me, the material side of the universe, except human soul. All right? So put the human soul aside. What you cannot satisfy in the universe, one thing you cannot satisfy.
Fire.
Sorry?
Fire.
Fire. How much you put, it doesn't say enough. I cannot get it more. It increases, doesn't decrease. Decrease. It increases, and never gets satisfied. That's why in the Quran, eternal torture for one's own self. I torture myself eternally, metaphorically used with fire. So we shouldn't say it is just a metaphor. You cannot satisfy fire.
What do you mean by satisfying fire?
It means you can, for example, it's easy. I don't know. There's a container here. Let's say this container is a gallon. I would say vacuum or whatever. Inside gets only 1 gallon water.
Okay.
So when you put a half gallon water, it says I can take more. I can take more. When it reaches the 1 gallon amount of water, it said I cannot take more. I'm satisfied. Do you understand what I mean? This. Two things then cannot be satisfied within this world. One is, in fact, three. But let's go one by one. Human soul cannot be satisfied with anything of this world. Okay. We said, even if the universe is yours, you are not satisfied. What am I going to do if I don't have are you married? Okay, I can take it as an example, as a joke now. If I have the most beautiful wife in the world, she will get ugly. Yeah. Cannot move at all when the age of 80 comes. What shall I do with it? I'm satisfied. No, I don't want anymore. Yeah? That's reality, man. So materially, no. But affection, loving, has no end. That's why human soul. The second in the world is fire. You cannot satisfy. To put you more, you put in it, it says, okay, hel min mazid in the language of the Quran, hel min mazid, it says. It means, is there any more? I can take. I can take. No end. The Quranic expression of hellfire is described in the Quran as hel min mazid. In the dialogue, the Quranic dialogue says, are you satisfied? No. Do you have more? Come on. What does it mean? Of course, generally and classically understood, hell can consume and contain everyone who is not believing. Simple way of explaining it. So it is nothing to do with it to me at all. By nature, fire metaphor represents that you cannot satisfy it, you cannot fill it and finish. It doesn't get more. That's fire. Now, sorry.
Yeah, I just want to make it clear for me.
Yes, okay.
When you say you cannot make it more, do you mean whatever you put in fire is just consumed and you can keep adding more to it?
But still, fire doesn't say that that's enough.
Right. It will always have capacity.
For example, galaxy. Let's say one galaxy has 10 billion stars. That's it. Not 10 billion one. That's it. It's a galaxy. Let's finish. I'm done. But fire is that. The third thing that we cannot satisfy within this world, the meaning we extract from the creation. There's no end. So they all, fire is an metaphor for why Quran uses fire as far as the representation of this. I call it not God's torture at all, self-torture. Self-torture is concerned. But the meaning in the universe also cannot get to the end. Can you get to the end of beauty? Can you get to the can you get the end of compassion? Can you get to the end of justice? No. No, the meaning is endless. What all this, especially human spirit, and the meaning in the existence of the universe and human soul, points to their being infinite, absolute. It's coming from absolute. If the meaning is endless, the knowledge of the author is endless. Yeah? But okay, I will come back to the word Jahim, hellfire. That's why Fahir, Nar in the Quran. It means really fire. Literally, it means fire. But it represents in a very important concept that the word hell, what paradise and hell represent. So we will come there. Why? Definitely, if someone doesn't really take the meaning from the universe and use and utilizes his own capacity of his own soul, he has to endlessly suffer from the lack. What did you say? What do you say? Lack of his desire. Whatever he wants, he says, I cannot get it. I cannot. Any. I cannot get it. That is hell. Got it? Okay. Now your turn. Who was going to say something? Oh, you said, okay.
We mentioned 3 points that answer the initial question, is there anything in the universe that you cannot satisfy? Yes, human soul, because our desires are endless, right?
Okay.
Human expectations are endless, even the different side of us, the needs are endless. So
Yep.
That makes perfect sense. Even the number 3 also makes perfect sense as far as extracting meaning from creation. So you can get layers and layers of meaning. The second point, which I'm still trying to understand, but it does make sense in the context of, you mentioned self-torture, yes.
Fire, you mean?
Yeah, fire. I mean,
Yeah. But we are talking about why the Quran uses the metaphor of fire in order to describe what hell is. Okay.
Is it a metaphor or is it actually fire?
Sorry?
Is it a metaphor or is it actual fire
Which fire?
in hell?
Which fire? Which fire are you talking about?
Hell.
I'm being serious. I'm getting angry with you. No. Make it clear. Which fire are you talking about in hell? Which fire? The fire you are experiencing here?
Yes.
But this world is going to be totally destroyed. What are you talking about? I'm not saying you're talking, you. Whether some people describe it in the form of fire, I don't know what they are talking about. This world is completely going to be destroyed, and all the order will be collapsed. That's what the end of the word is described in the Quran. So the fire wouldn't exist there. There will be completely different creation. So how can you say this fire is there? It's stupid. Not only meaningless, stupid. Goes against the Quranic teaching itself. Contradicts it. They don't think. Some people, I mean, not only we people here think, but they don't think deeply.
But then why is the word fire used again?
That is a metaphor. We are going to talk about it. Why this metaphor is preferred. Fire doesn't acknowledge, although it is a material being in this world, doesn't get satisfied. Its need is endless. Burns. Whatever it gets, burns it, destroys it. Whatever it gets, destroys it. That's hell. I'm very excited. Huh? So that is hell. Whatever you give, it says no, disappeared. Whatever you give disappears, right? Burns it, and it doesn't have a limit. That's enough. Now I am full. No, that is the description of the Quran. But fire metaphor is used to describe hell. So the verse suddenly changes the subject, the sequences of the verse that we are studying. They will definitely know, surely, or certainty. They will reach the certainty that I have lost, because I was trying to grasp what is the material side of it, or I was going to satisfy my bodily need. Okay, full satisfaction for my bodily need. What? The best food, yeah, best residence, best car or helicopter or your private jet, whatever, right? And then when he realizes it is spirit is separated from the soul, and the body is soul separated from the soul. What I need now, private jet, doesn't mean anything. Best residence doesn't mean anything. My friends, relatives doesn't mean anything. My mother, my father doesn't mean anything. They are gone. So the human soul requires eternal satisfaction. When you don't pay attention to it and search for it, use or educate, train through your free will, train your soul, what happens? The one who needs eternal satisfaction is, Hatija continue, is now experiencing what? Eternal lack of satisfaction. Correct? Lack of satisfaction. Is there any end for satisfaction? We said no. So do you think there will be an end for the lack of satisfaction? If it is endless, it will experience eternal lack of satisfaction. That's hell. Don't drink the fire from the word. It is nothing. Eternal lack of satisfaction is described in a metaphoric way in terms of this word as fire. Got it? Now, does it make sense how the Quranic metaphors are so reasonable and true, represents the meaning? Perfect. So, if someone realizes what is he missing as far as human soul is concerned, so that much he will experience the lack of it. Example, if you start your elementary school, learn something, what is left? You have to learn. What is left? Oh, what is left in the education system, in the knowledge that is obtainable by human beings. Do you understand that? This is the lack of it. So if you stop there, for example, go to school, say, I acknowledge the education, it is beautiful, it is very nice. I took 1 year in elementary school and left school. What is left? All the lack of obtaining the information that you could get. Now, whatever, when we don't train our soul, communicate through the creation, through the world, and extract the meaning and introduce yourself through the meaning, the source of the meaning in creation. You get what? Continue. eternal satisfaction. If you don't do it, what are you going to experience? Lack of this eternal satisfaction, right? It seems to be very simple now, but we don't hear it much. What is hell? The fire is going to burn the body, and it will start from the skin of the man, and skin will come back again, and it's metaphorical, endless. Don't take it literally. Okay, let's repeat our mantra. The scriptures, divine speech, can never ever be read literally. Yes? Another confirmation. Now, your question and then yours. Yours? Your question, comment, whatever. Go ahead. For good?
I mean, if you're saying that it can never be read literally, isn't there no limit to the depth of what you're trying to get out of it? So then you can read it in
Where?
ways. I mean, like.
What did you mean by depth of what?
Like, there's no limit to the truth.
Yes,
There's
of course,
limit,
of course.
right?
To the end.
To the end.
Yes, of course.
To the truth. The end of truth.
The end of truth, yeah. That's I got all of them. I say that. Yeah. Because there is no limit,
Like,
meaning.
right,
Limit.
so
Yeah.
wouldn't saying that you can't read it literally eliminate some kind of depth? Like,
Well, it's a starting point.
Yeah.
It's a starting point.
Yeah.
First of all, you say this
Like,
literature.
That starting point, right, is important to. That's how we like connect, right, the page to the words and the soul, right?
Yes.
Like that's
Going to the school.
It's like
Take the simplest example.
Mhm.
Going to the school, starting learning.
Mhm.
Is there any limit to learning?
No.
No. Until we die, yeah?
Mhm.
The very famous sayings of the Prophet Muhammad. So education, Prophet Muhammad or Imam Ali, I don't know which one. من المهد إلى اللحد. It means you can learn only from the cradle to Imam Ali saying until your grave.
Mhm.
There's no limit. There's no limit. It means we don't aim the end, we aim the
trajectory.
the sorry?
The path, trajectory.
Yeah, trajectory.
Mhm.
We aim that. I have to be there. So elementary school, first year, elementary school, second year, go and there's the first grade, 10th grade, 11th grade, and then college, and then master, and then doctorate, and then postdoctorate, and the research fellow, continue. There's not. So the life finishes. You will say, did you get the whole truth? No. But you know that there is no end anyways. So I have to follow. Only follow. Not stop. But whatever you have not strived for, is it the strive? What's the word? Strive? Strive for, so you will be responsible. Yeah, I learned this much, but I am aware that it has no end. It is the recognition. That's called Iman. That's what Yaqeen. You know that as you learn, that's it. But if you speak to a primary school, elementary school student, yeah, in America there is no primary school system. Elementary school. Elementary student, first year elementary school student. If you say, did you take example? I don't know what maths class. So, yes, I did. Did you learn? Yes, we learned a lot. Maybe all. He thinks, right? But as he develops in his education, makes progress in his education, he realizes that I think there's no end to it. Every class, we have another stage, yet another stage. It means they realize, oh, there's no end, but I have to strive for it. No,
So
yeah, okay, let's.
that was answering your question. I didn't ask my question. my question was in the first ayah.
Which one? Which first ayah?
You are obsessed by greed.
I
For
think
more and
the
more.
first ayah, yes, of the chapter. Yeah.
So, it's not necessarily implying that that's a bad trait, right? He's saying that you are obsessed by greed for more and more,
Yeah.
right? But it's not implying that it's bad. It's just reminding that be careful what that greed is going towards, right? Because we want to be greedy for, attaining all of the good, for the understanding and the certainty.
Understanding.
Right, this understanding of meaning,
but
right?
if you collect books, one library, not enough, another library, not enough, another library, without reading it. That's what the Quran is saying. Without reading, getting the meaning. Greed, greed, it means what? Greed, the Takathur, making material multiplication of your possession. Yeah, a Takathur here in this case, make it multiple. It means, for example, you buy, let's say, one car, or I buy another car, I buy another car, I buy another car. That is what it meant. But it doesn't mean that you shouldn't buy. But what are you obsessed in being greedy? But we said from the beginning of last week also, definitely we emphasize the importance of this side. Human soul never gets satisfaction with anything of this universe. So there is no greed. Because there is no satisfaction of this universe at all. Mm-hmm. So instead of collecting the books without reading, so get the book in order to read it. That's not greed. Get the book, another book, when you finish one, get another one, but in order to read it. But for the sake of collecting books, that's what the Quran is saying. You are obsessed for stupid obtaining of the world in a greedy way, more than what you need. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that is why we are making the distinction between them. That's why we said that the difference between obtaining the material bodily side of the thing or obtaining the meaning, yeah, it looks like dualism, and in philosophy they blame dualism. It doesn't work. That's what the materialists say. Yeah. So we know that everything has, at the same time, two aspects. One is the material, bodily, or corporeal side. The other one is the meaning in its existence. So in this sense, we have to be dualist. In this sense. Right. It means matter and the meaning. My body and my soul, human soul. In it.
So I was reading before. I know we keep things outside, but like here we're talking about no, indeed, if you only knew with the knowledge of certainty.
At the end,
in the
last verse here on this slide.
On the previous one, right?
You're looking at a different screen.
So here there's like two different kinds of certainty, right? There's the knowledge of certainty that he keeps saying, if you only knew with the knowledge of certainty, right? And if you shall know, you will know, right? So that's something that we're trying to get close to, right?
Yes.
And then, but later, then we see and again, then he said, most definitely you will see hellfire, right? You physically see it, and again you shall not physically, but you will see hellfire. And then
I see means, for example, when you speak something, I say I see what I mean. I understand your point.
Right, I understand, but it's like saying that. But is it real? It's kind of like this exact analogy that you're trying to know with a certainty, but you don't see it, right? He is saying that you will see with the eye of certainty.
Excuse me, it is a confusion.
That's the confusion I wanted
to. In this world, we have the knowledge of it, okay? Knowledge of it. It means when you have one car, okay, as soon as a new model comes out, and if you do a financial capacity, you want to get a new one, and you want another car. If you have, let's say, Mercedes, you say, I think I can get Ferrari. This is what I mean, because I can do it. I can manage. Well, there's a very famous saying in this culture: as long as I can afford it, yes, I can get Ferrari. So when you get Ferrari, you understand that knowledge-wise, you understand that still I need something more. And then using you as an example, understanding, compassionate, loving wife sitting next to you. Yes, the Ferrari is not enough. Something else, something else, something else. That is knowledge. Yes, but afterwards, as you said, the last word it says, and afterward, the certainty, knowledge of certainty will becomes really how is it translated? Let me see. The eye of certainty. It
Yes,
is
the difference.
seeing it. There is a difference. One of them is a knowledge wise, the other one is really experiencing it. Of course, there is another term introduced in the Quran, haqq al-yaqin. It means really finding yourself in it, whether in hell or in paradise. But this description is directly related to our life conditions here in this world.
Both of these.
Yes. Of course, they will really experience it. But first, I am not being satisfied. Yeah? So, let me give, your question is there and somebody else wanted to say something. Now, let me give this example. If you have a wallet and dropped it, lose it, and there is 100 pounds in it, you feel a little bit sad. Or 100, it was somehow. Or let's say, well, a simple one, $1. Yeah, look, lack of it, you feel how much? $1. Yeah. If you have, let's say, in terms of this word, $1 million in it and you lose it, do you feel the same? I think it is 1 million times more. Yeah. Now, do you see the similarity between hell and paradise? Paradise and hell. Some, not many, scholars say hell is the lack of paradise. Simple, isn't it? The lack of paradise is hell. Fire, forget about them. They are all metaphor.
What about the heaven? Is the description of heaven also metaphor?
Sorry?
When heaven is described in the Quran.
The heaven
with
is
the streets, but
paradise,
is that
Jannah.
I know, but the description, is it exact or is it also like a metaphor? When they talk about
yes,
streams,
of course, metaphor. Because metaphor, because it gives example the grapes, pomegranate,
yeah.
and
Streams
dates,
of milk and stuff.
milk and honey. One of my children said, in the paradise there will be rivers and lakes, that huge lakes full of milk and honey. I wouldn't like to swim in it. It is sticky. But that's very child, very young. So it's sticky. It will be sticky. Honey lake. So this, of course, this metaphor, definitely. Why metaphor? Taking the example of fire here represents what? Endless dissatisfaction. Endless dissatisfaction. Hell. So the figures taken from the word, because we can only experience this word, we cannot experience eternal life. So in the Quran, gives these examples in this world to represent what it means. For example, honey is commonly used as the sweetest thing. Yeah, being in this world. So the most enjoyable sweet that you can get will be there for your spiritual satisfaction, for the satisfaction of your soul. That is paradise. Hell is just the opposite side of it. Lack of this eternal satisfaction is eternal suffering. Lack of satisfaction, lack of suffering, yeah? Yes, your turn. You are right. Yeah.
I wanted to ask whether this, the metaphor for hell being eternal dissatisfaction,
Yes.
means that we can experience hell and paradise
Sorry?
in this world. Does it mean that we can experience hell and paradise in this world in addition to?
Yes. I think that the excellent point. The purpose of the Quran is saying that you will know it here, and we didn't come there in our description of it. What I am trying to understand here, or make it demonstrated, although the certain things are being told in the first verses of this chapter, suddenly the subject changes into threat. Yeah? You know, you shall most definitely see hellfire. And again, you shall surely see it with an eye of certainty. Definitely you will see it. Now, do you understand the comment? What is it to do with it? You know, you were accumulating, trying to get more and more of the materials out of this world. Yeah, not seeing that simple example, getting more and more book but never read it. Right? And at the end, what you gain? Yeah, your house. Let's say you have a big palace and huge. What is? I don't know the word. Let's say huge shades. Where they put the, what is it called?
Shelf.
There was a word for
Shelf.
where they put the airplanes in.
Hanger.
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 Hanger. Yes, huge hanger. Put everything there. What are you going to do with it? You know that I'm getting old. Man, I cannot eat honey, sweet. I cannot eat salty, taste the salty, not really salty, but light salt must be less. Yeah, I cannot eat nice bread smelling beautiful, but I cannot eat it. The wheat is allergic. What's going on? I'm prepared. No. These are not the objects of your purpose of your life. Yeah?
Mhm.
Look, I am getting to know they cannot be the object of my life. Knowledge of certainty. Right? And now, after your turn, we come back to how we can experience it in this world. So, paradise and hell. But here, it's concentrating on the most saying until the last verse. If we don't use the capacity of our soul, if we don't use it, what will happen? Physically in this world, for us, psychologically, it means really. Physically, no one is going to torture me, my hand, because I said that I don't believe in God. Yeah? As soon as you say, I don't believe in God, your tongue drops down. Does it? It means the tongue gets feeling torture. No, you can still speak. So you can experience everything. But when you deny, definitely you experience something. When you confirm the reality, you experience something in your soul. When you deny the reality, not the material side of it. So the meaning side of the universe, meaning side of yourself, when you deny this reality, you experience the meaning side, lack of that meaning, lack of that satisfaction. Now, let's go this way and then concentrate on this one.
So, with every bit of knowledge or anything that you know,
Experience, as a result of experience.
as a result of experience,
Yes.
anything that you know, with that, you also know that you didn't know something,
Yeah, yeah.
right?
You become aware that
become-
I didn't know this one last year.
Right. So, if we're saying that the lack of paradise is hellfire, and I almost equate knowing or experiencing some form of reality, not material reality, but essential reality,
Essential reality, yeah.
to be almost as a paradise-like experience, then am I not always in a state of experiencing paradise and hellfire? Because with every
at the same time,
because every bit that I'm experiencing or knowing more, I'm also knowing that I did not know this, therefore knowing the lack of something.
So what the Quran describes this matter, this subject. They say anytime they have received the favor of their God, they just say thank you, or express their happiness with God. Because the description again, the Quran is an interesting text. Description: the faces will be bright, shiny, lit with light, and as they see their Lord, which means so as they see their Lord, look at their Lord. Really, what does it mean? So the Lord is absolute, you cannot see, it is impossible, but his treatment of you, his disclosing his qualities to you in front of you directly, not like the experience here from behind the veils, for example. Without tree, you cannot get the fruit. That's what the trap of this world is. They used to think that, the tree is producing fruit, the tree is producing the fruit, yeah, because it is coming from the tree. But tree says, no, I cannot produce anything in its nature. You understand? So, but there, without tree doing anything, waiting for the season and waiting for a certain time period so that the cells will work there, etc., etc., etc. So there, directly, whatever you want. It means you are directly experiencing the favor of your Creator. So the faces will be bright. And when they receive this satisfaction, of course, the soul recognizes, if I didn't have it, oh man, unbelievable, unimaginable. No. Thank you. Yeah. So when you are hungry, when you are given the food, after you get the satisfaction, you start saying thank you, because your hunger is going away. But you are aware of your hunger, so that's why you are thankful. But it doesn't mean that you feel the lack of it, but you will be more than thankful, because you know if you did not have it, if you were not given that, you will understand what would be you will be more and more thankful to your Creator.
Yes, I think thankfulness is almost a response to the state of being that you're in. But I don't think hunger, personally for me, would not be a fitting example, because here we're talking about if the meaningfulness in creation is everlasting or endless.
Yeah.
Then my, like right now in this particular state that I'm in, it's like, yes, every piece of certainty that I can develop of my realities, I'm going to be extremely grateful for it. But with every piece of certainty that I gain, I know that I did not know something, and therefore that I can also say that there's endless amount of stuff that I will never know. So
now this is the condition of this world. But even in this world, as long as you know what you have learned, you are pleased with it. And if you know what you have not learned during that period that you could learn. For example, for a high school student, do you think he suffers the lack of knowledge that is going to be obtained in PhD degree?
No.
Not really. As long as he learns at that level, he will be satisfied with this, but he will know that there is something more. But in paradise, no one will suffer. But your point is here, I think, no one will suffer, must suffer because of the lack of something. But whatever is presented to this person, as much as his capacity is or was prepared in this life, he will be satisfied within his own capacity, and then he will appreciate it, the lack of hell life, lack of it, saying that I am not missing this. I am getting it. This is what within his capacity. These are described in the Quran, not in the description of the prophetic teaching. They call it hadith. So it says the people will be in the same place in paradise. That's by definition. Okay, paradise is paradise. Okay, but like two people sits in the table, right, and one of them really enjoys the food, gets the taste. The other one doesn't really get the taste because he's got cold. Yeah, he doesn't feel really very comfortable, but he enjoys it. But it's sitting at the same table, but not getting the same level of satisfaction. See, right? Depending on your capacity. Let's say, but it's not a good fitting example. I know about it. I know that it's not a fitting example. If you are really hungry, you eat the same food as I eat. You are really hungry. I'm not that hungry. And it's okay. I can have a few spoons of something, yeah, or mouthful. Okay, you enjoy I enjoy as well. But there is a difference. Eating the same food, depending on my capacity. So paradise also will be the same, depending on your capacity. Must be the same. It is just to be in this way. Now, you are done. You are done. Anyone else? So that we will come to this point. So لَتَرَوُنَّ الْجَحِيمَ, definitely see hellfire. Don't wait until go there. You can experience it here. Because after getting the knowledge of it, you start saying, what? Really, this word is not the word of satisfaction. Right? As far as material side is concerned, you get everything, collected everything. Yeah. You may have not only one apartment, but you may have the high-rise building somewhere, especially in Manhattan. Can you imagine? Yeah. Let's say this Empire State, whatever building is yours. Your age is 80. What do you feel, Hatice? Empire building is mine. So you cannot walk up one step or one other level of stairs or one floor up. Empire building is yours. What are you going to do with it? And you go one stop, the second floor, third floor, and you miss the first and all the floors that it's not yours anymore. And you say, okay, really, I don't care. If you have children, you say, okay, take care of them. Leave me alone. That is real realization. But if you don't take the meaning, what you say, I got all this and I got all this and nothing is left with me. Nothing is left with me. You don't have to die for it. Before you die, don't you intellectually realize that, okay, it is here, I got it, okay, but at the end, I will be left with nothing, all that I have. But if you read the meaning, okay, you say, I got the message there. There's a response to my expectation, to the expectation of my soul. I got the author, what he meant there. I read it. What the meaning? You have to read the meaning. Got it? Simple or difficult? You have to read the meaning. So when you eat, the example was grape. Right? Grape, when you eat the grape, you are hungry, you satisfy your stomach, your bodily need. Okay? If you don't get the meaning, what do? That's enough. I'm done. And think about it, because human beings are given the ability, they have this ability to think. So, okay, I will eat grape when I am hungry, once more, twice, 3 times. And then, okay, I am a rich man, all right, possible. Then, you know that one day will come, Yawm al-Akhir. You understand Yawm al-Akhir, the last day? Yeah, the last day. The literal translation, Yawm al-Akhir, the last day. The last day is anything we do in this world. I think I remember mentioning this. Do you remember? Anything we do in this world, definitely, time will definitely come and you will do it last time. Yawm al-Akhir. Without waiting until the last time. You will do it last time. One will come. And so, for example, anyway, just recently, I was in the bath and I was reciting, just to remind myself, Amantu billahi wa malaikati wa kutubi wa rusuli wal yawmul akhiri. I said, Ali, the time will come and the last shower you will take and no more. Did I die? No, I'm still alive. But I experienced that. The last day definitely will come. So where is the satisfaction that I enjoyed this, but the time will come with the last one? Where is satisfaction of the human soul? Eternal satisfaction, pleasure of taking the shower. Example, you can apply it to any source of enjoyment in this world. Unless you use the meaning and attach to it a source, everything we do in this world by itself is meaningless. I'll come to your. You don't have to be greedy, even if you are not greedy. It is the translation of Takathur, material accumulation of the things, Takathur, right? But it is translated as greedy. Well, okay, it means at the same time being greedy in the material sense. Accumulation of this, okay?
Is it only though? Like,
sorry.
Is it really limited to just the material things? Because,
yeah,
like, can't you be greedy for good deeds?
For example, good deeds.
Can't you be greedy for blessings?
Yeah. About the
mercy.
material side. For example, let's say instead of praying 5 times a day, you may pray 50 times a day. Materially, nothing. But the meaning is important. So the material side is you can do exercise. Instead of going to the gym, you can do pray. Right? Material side is meaning. What it represents is everything. Right? The universe itself is nothing. But as the Quran says, if the Creator, I, the universe in the Quran, the I or we refers to the Creator. So if I want, I can destroy you completely now. But why? I mean, the one who brings it into existence doesn't bring it. Stop bringing it into existence. That's it. Who will bring the world into existence? What the existence itself necessitates that it will exist really for some time later? Nothing. Nothing can guarantee that tomorrow I will make it. The table says I will make myself existent tomorrow as well. Itself, no. If it is given existence, it is there. If it is not given existence, it is disappears. So we know that if the Creator says in the description of the Quran, so if I want to destroy them, I will destroy them immediately. But I give them the chance, opportunity to understand. That's why we experience of this world over and over and over again. So realize as if the pages of the book, we read one page is not enough. The second page, the third page, the fourth page, and never finishes. In our lifetime. It means there's even more, there's even more. Before reading the book, when completing it, our life, our existence in this condition ceases, comes to an end.
Dr. Robert, like the opposite of his question. Like he said that can we be greedy so much for good things? Can we, but on the other hand, can we accumulate a lot and make it, how do you say, and make it not like halal? I want to say like, let's say we get a lot of, like you gave the example of cars or wealth or apartments, right? Can we gather a lot of that and attach meaning to it? You know what I mean? Like opposite of what you were saying.
No, it is a trick. Look, my friend, it is a trick. You know what the people do? Okay, I will open a school which teaches Arabic. Another school teaches Arabic. Another school teaches Arabic. I can because or not Arabic. Not Arabic. Arabic is a bit dubious, doubtful. When you learn Arabic, it doesn't mean that you realize the truth. Yeah. But let's say studying the Quran. Yeah. So you are rich. You opened one school. 500 people are studying the Quran, learning what the reality of the Quran is, not literal sense, of course. Meaningless. So purposeless, actually, not only meaningless. So, and you say, oh, it is good, I can afford it. Another school, another school, another school, right? People are learning the truth of the Quran, a message, okay?
Yeah.
Okay. If you don't learn the truth of the Quran yourself, what is left with you? Nothing. You example, not you personally. The person was, this person in the example was ignorant, and he will die ignorant. Nothing will change. Material side means nothing. People make excuse. I am working so that I will give to charity. I will give to religious organizations. I will give to students so that they will learn the Quran. Or if you find any student, hey, learning the Quran, so you will give it. I know what everybody wants to become a doctor or an engineer or computer scientist. Do you understand? Okay. Even it is. They are going to study the Quran, learn, and become aware of the truth of the message of God. If you don't learn it, that is accumulation of garbage. But the good work, because of you, the people are learning. You don't learn. How can you appreciate the value of learning there? You don't feel the need for it. It is an hypocrisy.
But if you do learn,
if Allah gives you, if you study the Quran, so okay, you can, for example, so let's say you are the child of a very rich man. Okay, you are studying the Quran. You didn't work because you didn't have time to work for the word, but your father was rich, taking care of you. He dies, and billions of dollars are left with you. Suddenly you become rich. But it doesn't mean that you do that accumulate. You accumulated, and piled up the matter. No, it's just given to you. It is the law of God. Inheritance is halal, permissible.
But what about accumulation?
Sorry?
What about the other thing that you said?
Well, that is given to you. You didn't accumulate.
No, but what if you do?
Sorry?
But let's say I, not me or anybody in the room, is accumulating wealth, knowingly that this is wealth. Is that always like a bad thing? Is it always like in the last one?
If you need it, yeah, go ahead.
I mean, need is very relative, like you don't need so much, but you still want.
Yeah, okay, that's it. Well, it doesn't say that you shouldn't work, you shouldn't study, you shouldn't,
like
do some work, but don't make it the purpose. Even under the disguise of I am going to use it for the sake of religion, it is cheating. Be careful. It is cheating yourself. It means you don't want to sit and study, but somebody else will study and you will get from his thawab. Oh man, that is cheating yourself. If you think that it is very valuable, apply it to yourself. For example, I am ill. Let's say I have a certain illness, many certain, a lot of illnesses. So that one. So certain illness. I know this medicine works for it. And I say, are you suffering from this illness? Take this medicine. Take this medicine. I'll give you in one, but I'm not applying it and taking for myself. If it is good, man, you take it for yourself first. So don't work for others first. You appreciate it. For example, I got the medicine again, the same example. I applied to myself. I have another one, extra one, and I saw one of the friends are suffering from the same illness. I give the second one to him. I said, look, I experienced it. I used it. It helped me. Please, you use it as well. That's not because I have extra. I understand. But I am not using it, and it means I obtained the material thing, but I am not reading the meaning. As I say, what's wrong with accumulating? If you don't read the book, why do you get the second book? I don't understand. But if you read the book, and if it is given while we are doing some work, if you gain another book, it is not your purpose, but it is the way that you work, and it is given to you. It is given to you. Is the example of the inheritance. Did you work for it? Huh? Did you work for it? Your father did. Your other father or mother. So you inherit it, and it's your property. It's illegal. It's your, right? According to Sharia, yes.
But it's also legal to work for money.
Sorry?
I mean, it's also legal to work for money. Like,
but
my father, how
if you are rich, for example, if your father leaves you $1 billion, and you, why do you want to work and read? Why do you keep yourself with the material things? Because you have much more than you needed. Allah has given to you. So be careful. Always we run away from sitting and experiencing the meaning by ourselves. Making lots of excuses saying that, look, I am going to use it to take care of the poor, the needy, take care of religious organizations. Out. What are you doing, stupid man? First yourself. Try to get the meaning for yourself. So first, especially the Quran says, I know this is good, and I'm not applying for it, and I'm teaching you. This is good. What does it mean? I'm hypocrite. Quran says, why do you say what you don't experience within yourself? Why do you say to others, even in the Quranic languages, what you have not done or what you are not doing? Yeah? What you are not doing, why do you say it to others? It means experience it within yourself first. If you have time, then work for it. But your necessity needs to. The Quran never, or the Islam or the Prophet never encourages people, no, don't work and beg from other friends or somebody else or something. No. But at the same time, aim is not accumulating, Takathur, making it more and more and more. Aim is to read the meaning, but at the same time, if you read one book and you have time, you have opportunity, do you need another book to read? Yeah, you have to work for it materially to get to buy the book. But when you get the book, read it. Do you understand the purpose? Purpose of life is not to collect books. Purpose of life to get the book, to read it. Purpose is reading, getting the meaning. This is very important. What we don't have, what we miss, what we lack, purpose for our life. We don't know what the objective we should have for our life. Everybody helps you. Everybody helps you. For example, if you are applying for a job, if a person has gone through it, worldly affair, okay? Everybody gives advice. Do this, prepare this, take this course, apply in this way. You know, this is the season here, this company, that company, they help you. That's the word now. If you say, I want to understand and establish a satisfactory, legitimate purpose for my life, what they say, why don't you go to the gym to keep yourself busy? And sometimes, you know, have some parties with your friends. Keep yourself busy, because they know that if a person is materially, physically unemployed, this person is subject to psychological distress. Keep yourself busy with what? This is the spirit of this materialist civilization. They encourage you to keep yourself busy materially, not meaning, search for meaning for your life. That's why we suffer from the lack of purpose in our life. That's why we are not excited about the truth that we learn and then experience it and get pleasure from it. Yeah, I know I have an owner and he's always with me. He always reminds us his presence in my existence. And feeling the pleasure of being in the presence of your Lord, eternal Lord. You are just experiencing his presence in your life through the meaning that you are interacting with the material side of this world. Don't be frightened that we are going to lose the world. You are not going to lose anything. Don't worry. If you get the meaning, you will get, this was beautiful. This book was beautiful. Let me get another book. Wow, what I have to buy it. And I don't have money. What I do then? Do this job and get the book. But the purpose is what? You are dying for the meaning of the next book that you are going to read. That is not Takathur. But only accumulating the books is the Takathur. Yes, sir.
So, Allah was always saying to spend in the way of your Lord, right?
In the way of the Lord.
Right.
Very good sentence. Underline it. In the way of the Lord, not in the way of the stomach.
Right.
Be careful. Yes, for the fi sabilillah, this is the most misunderstood concept of the Quran. In the way of the Lord, for the sake of God, to feed the stomach, not the eternal, infinite need of my soul.
Mm-hmm.
Who is spending for it? Who is spending to satisfy the needs of human soul?
So, like in the last ayah here, right? On that day, you'll surely be called to account for your worldly favors.
Well, we didn't come there yet. Okay.
Oh, okay.
Okay, but you can refer it, but we will study that.
So to spend in the way of your Lord, right? We get the risk, right? We get the whatever money we have and the time, right?
Excuse me? Money goes to the God?
No. I mean, I'm just saying overall, like what we have, right?
What do you have?
I have favors bestowed on me by my Lord.
Give me an example.
My time.
Okay. But what are you going with your time? What do you do with your time? What are you expected to do with your time?
To get closer to worship.
Yeah, I get to worship, not to make money and give money and give me a clothes. I don't need clothes. I need the satisfaction for my eternal need of soul. That is charity. The other is cheating charity. But if you have extra, give it. You know the medicine example I gave? Apply it to yourself. Experience it. If you like it, if you have extra, give it in order to benefit and help the cure of your friend's sickness or illness, ailment. But
so that's my question. I think that there should be the balance, right?
What is the balance?
The balance is this in this world, right? I am surrounded by people, right? I have to help them.
What they have done? What are they suffering from?
I mean, for the number one thing is people who are. I mean, everyone needs to worship and get closer to Allah, right?
Yes, that's
the number one thing, right?
Number two?
I don't even know,
you don't know, because an atheist is do this job, number two job, taking care of this, how do you say, shelters, etc. I'm not saying they are bad. No. If you aim at making shelter, you are here in the class, you are opening a school, example, one school, another school, people are studying Quran there. You never study Quran. What benefit will you get from it?
But that's what I'm trying to say. I mean,
good.
I am reading, and the more I read, I realize that I shouldn't be reading this much.
Shouldn't be?
Because of the balance.
What is the balance?
That am I supposed to dedicate? Imagine that I was reading and praying all the time, and I never spoke to anybody.
What are you praying?
What if
praying is recognition. Is there any end to the recognition?
Right, but can't I be doing that in a more balanced way?
Be careful. This is a very generally misused concept. To keep the balance between the word and the other word. Now, of course, as long as you benefit from it, you learn from it, you share it. For example, read another chapter from the Quran, learn, get the deep meaning of it as much as you can. There's no end with that. Study it, spend 1 week, and then come here, give us 1 hour talk. Explain it to me. That is charity. You are sharing what you are given. I don't need your food. I'm richer than you. I don't know you, but I don't need you.
I agree with you. That's the number one thing.
Even if you, I don't need you even as a believer. I go to the subway, at the subway entrance or whatever exit, and I pretend to be and then get money. That's it. Mostly the humanist atheists will give you money, not you. So it's hard. But it doesn't mean that if we argue, go back to this example, I think somebody's father died, you inherited $1 billion. Yeah? Do you need $1 billion in the world until you die?
No.
No. Or you give it to somebody materially, because give it to you materially, give it to materially, but at the same time you have to benefit from it. Yeah? You get your share. So what the balance is stupid to get this balance. Now I'm not saying you are stupid. To reasoning in this way, one of them is eternal need, the other one is the 6 month need, 6 hours need. You will eat now, 6 hours later, well, I get hungry after 6 hours. That's why I say, yeah? How can you get the balance between eternal, the other one is 6 hours? Get the middle way. What's the middle way? No. If it is 10, the other one is 2, the middle way is what? 4. Understand? But one is eternal, the other one is 10. The middle way is, can you compare eternity with anything? That is why people are crazy, because they love working, they love money making. If they don't go to work, to business, they go crazy, psychological depression. That's why they work. So, just excuse me. The subject is hard. Subject is hard. It means we are people encouraging people not to work. No. You work. Even I put you in a chain. You go with the chain to work. I know that. Don't worry about it. You don't need encouragement. That what is missing? What is missing? Working for eternity. Working on helping people, trying to help people to realize what they really need, the purpose of their life.
So I agree with you. That's exactly what I'm saying. Like, if my intention is that for myself and everyone else.
Yeah, right? But now, in order to teach me, you have to.
Yeah, so I mean, I have to keep reading, right?
Yeah, you have to learn.
But then,
and come and teach me. That is the charity. Read it, learn it, and make sense of it. Deliberate on it. Is it deliberate? Contemplate on it. Reflect on it. Sorry.
Yeah, you said the right word.
Contemplate on it, digest it, and try to see that makes sense, and it satisfies me. Come and teach me. That is charity. Otherwise, I don't. It is just cheating yourself. You don't know the value of the Quran. You do distribute Quran to people. What is the point?
What about like, I'm giving you an example, right? Like, we're not supposed to have debt, right? We're not. We shouldn't be.
I didn't get the word.
Debt, loans.
Actually, I say it.
So let's say that.
No, you can get a loan from your friend.
But let's say that we made mistakes, that we are in debt, that my family is in debt, and now I know how much it affects them, because I mean, I know the sin, like what happens to you in debt.
The time is limited. I would like to listen to you endlessly, but we have a limited time. So, have you ever thought of the same family member when they are suffering from the lack of confidence in their life?
Yeah, absolutely.
Did you help them?
Yeah.
When? Oh, no, practical example, don't misunderstand me. Think about it. When somebody falls into the shortage of money, property, or life, material lifestyle, we got panic and everybody becomes generous. When somebody goes to school and learns a materialistic worldview, everyone says, are you going to be a doctor? My beloved son, I really love you. He is going to be a doctor, aren't you? Yeah, I would like to be a doctor. MashaAllah, MashaAllah. But as he studies the biology, he becomes atheist. Have you taken precautions? Have you encouraged it? How many people? They take it to the local mosque, school. They teach how to read the Quran and make them memorize it, and we teach them tajweed. And have you ever seen anybody satisfying the need of the spirit? How to read the meaning of the universe and your own existence? Where is charity? Charity is desperately in need.
Yeah, I think that is the biggest need.
So, balance, think about it. I think you know mathematics better than you keep looking at the watch. What time is it?
9 o'clock.
That's just 9 o'clock. Okay, 9 a.m. So you have to stop. Please start a bit later. I'm not really fully satisfied. What I was going to say.
You were talking about the biggest charity breaks needed.
Sorry?
You were talking about where the biggest charity is needed.
Yeah. I said, you know mathematics. What is your education levels? Must be better than mine. In science or what?
Yeah, medical science. I'm doing my PhD.
Okay, good to know. Please study. We need Muslim doctors. Huh? Wallahi, I don't believe. It's just, you have to improve your belief, then you can be automatically believing doctor, not Muslim doctor. No, all the science you read, have you transferred into knowledge of God?
I try to.
Yeah, that's it. That is the success. I am not proud of your being a doctor in medicine, medical studies. I am proud and I'm happy with your trying to get the meaning in the science you are learning. That's it. But balance this kind of language puts me in doubt that you are under the influence of general culture. You have to refresh yourself, and me too. So you know that much mathematics, eh? Can you equate the infinite with any number and find the middle?
No.
What are we talking about? The middle way. Now, of course, you shouldn't beg. You shouldn't be materially in need. But what the objective of life, this chapter is saying, not accumulating of this material world. Right? The meaning you have to accumulate, and we said there is no greed. There is no greed in accumulating the meaning because it is endless. Yeah, for example, if you are given one plate, you are hungry, one plate of food, you say, delicious. The second plate, you say, it was good. I think is enough. The third place, the fourth place, you find yourself in the bathroom throwing. You can see the balance there. No, half a plate, it wasn't enough. 4 plates full of food is too much. The balance is 2 plates. You can talk, but you cannot talk about balance between eternal life and transient life, between the meaning and matter. You cannot talk about balance there. So we are the moderate people. That's the ummatan wasata. This kind of language is all misused, because that's why we say if there is a disaster in any known Muslim community, everybody works for it. But the disaster is with me. Disaster is in my house. My child is getting indoctrinated in materialist ideology. I am not aware of it. That is disaster. I don't know what is going on in my own family life. I don't know what is going on in my own life. Then I take care of the people somewhere, and that they need some material thing. I'm not saying if you have, give it. If you have, give it, but it cannot be the purpose of your life.
Oh, absolutely.
Now, the purpose of your life is to save yourself. Yeah? The Quran says, Ya ayyuhan nas, qu anfusakum ya ayyuhalladhina amanu. Qu anfusakum wa ahlikum nara. What is the beginning of Ya ayyuhan nas? Okay, whatever says, whatever, or human beings or whatever, save yourself and save your close relationship, whatever means. Not necessarily the family. For example, if you are living with a friend, okay, save your friend. Your family is somewhere else, maybe miles away, but it is next to you, your ahem. Yeah, save it. Try to be to help him to understand the reality of this creation, but first yourself. It's obvious. If you don't know, how can you teach? That's so simple. So,
Just a quick clarification about charity. Using the example that you gave, that I'm a rich person. Let's say I live in a country where there's a lot of poor people, and I'm helping them get health.
give them whatever it is.
Would that
Whatever it
be-
is.
Like
Give
if
them
I know that
extra.
through me, God is helping to heal them
Yeah,
because
but
they have a bad.
this must be with God consciousness. In order to do it with God consciousness, you have to know what your soul needs. So first, educate yourself. Giving the property, the material things to the needy ones cannot be the purpose of your life. So what you can, if you have it, give it, but it's not the purpose of your life. If you have it, give it. What are you going to do with it if you don't give it? You are going to leave it anyway behind. But that is what we have to understand. This cannot be the purpose of your life. That's what this chapter is saying. If you aim at obtaining this world itself, you will see the hell in the end. And with your own eyes, it means you really experience it, not only knowledge-wise, you really will suffer from it. Physically suffer from it in this world. For example, first you have the knowledge of it. When you are young, you don't feel the neediness in your physical being. As you get older, the difference is this. When I was young, theoretically, I knew that the people die when they get old. That means people, when they get old, people die when they get old. That is knowledge. I know. And if someone asks me, are you sure that you are going to live in this world? Young man, okay? You say, no, I'm sure I'm not going to live in this world eternally. That is knowledge. Do you feel it? No. When you are young. If you don't really work on it, you don't feel it. So when you get old, you get to know. Look at my life now. Yeah, I'm older than your father. So I know how it feels it. So when I look at myself, I say, really, I'm seeing it. I'm really, Ayn al-Yaqeen, the Quran says, eye of certainty, I'm seeing it. That I'm not going to do anything with this property that I have now. Oh, why? I'm going to be careful with the language. I have been aiming at it as a life purpose. Why do I do that? Why did I do that? It is pointless. Ask me now. If I have something more than I need, I experience it now. Why do I have this? When I die, somebody will inherit it. Okay, that will be their test now. Let's say example of the book is excellent example. That represents the universe. So I have 1,000 books. I don't, but it's example. And I read only 2 or 1. And what is good, as far as I am concerned, to have 1,000 books in my room? So I will die. My children will inherit it. And it will be their test now, or their opportunity, whether they will read it or they will do what I did. Just keep it on the shelves and show it to people. And if I'm speaking, especially in a scientific subject or religious subject, I say the objector or the camera, sit here. I'm going to sit in front of the bookshelves. Use it, it's very commonly used trick, as if he read all of them. When he speaks most of the nonsense. But the book behind says what? Knowledge, real knowledge is speaking. Most the trash, most the shell of the Quranic information. You understand? So it will be just used as a show off. How do you say?
Showcase.
Window, show window,
Showcase.
showcase, show window. No,
Showing.
with
Showing off.
sorry.
Showing off.
No. That's all right. That's all right. But you know, some stores have display place with a show window or display something. Showcase. Okay. Okay. Amen. In Britain, they say show window or something. For example, window shopping.
Yeah.
Watching the showcase. It will be only a showcase. That's it. No benefit. So we have to be very careful to putting the books behind and claiming the authority of knowledge I got from them. That's why I'm speaking with knowledge. Do you understand the trick?
Mhm.
And impressing the people. Oh, this man has a lot of books. I don't know. First, he has read it. I don't know. He has digested it. I don't know. He benefited from his spirit. For his spirit. I have no idea. When he speaks, I will understand whether the books are behind or not. So really the shell of this word cannot be the object of my life. Okay? So you were saying something.
Yeah.
You wanted to say something.
Yeah, I was just like trying to ask, like, to reach certainty. I thought like when one reached certainty, it was a time of death. That's what I was thinking really.
Okay.
So I didn't get anything.
If I understand you correctly, like you can only reach certainty or ultimate certainty when you're like when it's that last moment to seek, when you can't seek anything else. So at that point you know everything, right?
Yeah.
But it is too late, it's worthless. Now you'd better, or I better reach certainty now. So now you are responsible for your life now. So when you die, you know that somebody died there. You know that whatever he had accumulated materially, do you see that any of them benefits him? Not at all. So you reach certainty by looking at this man. You don't have to die. You reach certainty by looking at this man now. Yeah, it means the nature of this world being transient. When you realize that this world in its nature transient, you reach certainty. Not only death, transient, man, it's going. And never stays. Anything never stays. No, okay. لترون الجحيم ثم لترونها عين اليقين. We studied. ثم لتسألن يومئذ عن النعيم is to be studied next week. Inshallah. Bismillah. Right? Any question? Anything? Any more? بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم سبحانك لا علم لنا إلا ما علمتنا إنك أنت العليم الحكيم وآخر دعواهم إن الحمد لله رب العالمين بحرمة الفاتحة.
So